Hello, fringers. The following podcast may not be suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Look alive, fringers.
It's 2099 and we are live and loud in the underground. From the streets to the scar. Keep your chip hidden, your gun loaded, and never trade your soul for souls.
Turn it up and let them know.
Big Brother is watching. Time to put on a show.
Hello, Fringers. Howdy, Coens and Davises. Welcome to episode 24 of Neon Trails, an Identico actual play. I am your game runner, the Caleb G. Tonight is our season finale. It has been a long road getting here, and I am so pleased with and proud of this project. I'm so thankful to Mallo and the Humanoid Games team for letting me pitch the story idea and turning it into a show. Mallo has done just an insane amount of work behind the scenes with production and promotional materials, and it's all absolutely gorgeous. Also gorgeous is this wonderful cast. It's been a delight working together on this story. Thank you all for being so willing to collaborate and narrate and share energy and time and ideas. This story is just monumentally more impressive and entertaining because of all the work that we have done together. And I am just so lucky to have been able to spend all this time with you. But before we get all teary-eyed, let's say hello to some bisexuals, trisexuals, homo sapiens, carcinogens, hallucinogens, men. Pee Wee Herman. First up, the music ignites the night with passionate fire. It is Mallo playing Galen.
Hello, everyone! Welcome in. It's going to be a spicy night, I think.
Next up, she's a season of love. It is Wild playing B.
I just want you to know that Rent is one of my most favorite musicals ever, and your references make me so happy. Hi guys, your faces make me happy too. I missed you. Let's not let B die tonight. Mwah.
And with the best ass below 14th Street, it's Pete playing dog.
Oh, well, thank you. I was going to ask if I'm a carcinogen or Pee Wee Herman.
Both? Whatever you want. Both? Neither?
Roll me up and smoke me.
Hey! Next up, clad only in bubble wrap, performing her famous lawn chair handcuff dance to the sound of iced tea being stirred, it's Lauren playing Drall.
Hi. It's happening. It's happening. Somebody hold me.
Mallo is going to love you in post-editing for all that crinkling.
So sorry. I can run it again. Hi, guys. Really happy to be here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. These people are amazing. And I love the story we're telling. Is that better?
I figured it was either the crinkling or the other thing we learned during the pre-show, and probably the crinkling was a better move.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm not sure either. Save it for the crucial moment when the tension is so high and we have to break it. And also 5 miso soups, 4 seaweed salads, 3 soy burgers, 2 tofu dog platters, and 1 pasta with Ethan playing Mock.
Do you hear the people? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were quoting good musicals.
Whoa, fighting words.
Oh, bring it on, Wild.
So we have to stop
Look at
the game
offense.
to resolve
She doesn't even. She's just contemplating my demise.
She ain't even
that might have
fazed
been
by
the
it.
end of both PC and player in one moment.
She is taller than us, Ethan. We have to be careful.
We've established this.
I have the reach and the ability to wait until you tire yourself out running away. So just keep that in mind.
Rent is good. Have you seen the Team America version of Rent called Lease? If you haven't, you should really go watch that clip, Wild. You would enjoy it.
Also funny.
I'll have to check it out.
Or the Snoop Dogg version. The rent is too damn high.
Preach.
Everything is rent. But let's get some of our unusual housekeeping out of the way. Identico is usually live every other Tuesday on twitch.tv/Identico with episodes of Neon Trails at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, but we are taking a summer break between seasons. So catch up with all things Identico over at youtube.com/Identico. Be sure to subscribe, leave us some comments, tell us your favorite musicals, tell us anything about what you love, because we just want to hear it. And then, talk about why Rent is really, really good, and it's the best. Follow us on the socials. Look for us at Identico or Humanoid Games at whatever social media you happen to be using. Stay tuned there for some announcements about special events that might be coming up during our show break. Who knows? Whatever. We might just talk about nothing, or we might talk about everything. And of course, swing over to playidentico.com, where you can read the basic core rules, get the newest module, the Dark and the Divine, pick up books, stickers, and other merch. If you are live with us right now, hello, welcome. It's going to be an event tonight. Get ready. Mallo, is there anything else you would like to share? Maybe something about a friend's Emmy nomination?
I was just about to say, we have a dear friend who named Michael, who puts out a book called Action 12 Cinema, and he was nominated this year for an Emmy. And if you are familiar with the Emmys, it is basically our Oscars for tabletop RPGs. So check it out. It is a D12 system. It is very, very fun. Michael also runs the RPG Academy and is the leader of a catacon, of which we go to and sponsor all the time. So a member of the Identico family, if he would be for there. So the thing is, though, we need everybody that's out there to start voting for it. It is a fantastic system. It is a D12 based system based on cheesy action movies from the 80s. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the whole premise. You roll a D12 and you enacted a cheesy action movie from the 80s. It's fantastic. Voting opens July 12th. Check out the Ennies. That's ENNIE. I think I can spell that correct, right, Caleb? Sure. A lot of coffee going on tonight. But check that out. Vote Action 12 Cinema. There's also going to be a lot of other fun, different ones that are out there in different categories as well. So check them out. It's popular fan vote for many of the categories out there. So go in there if you're a lover of TTRPGs. Cast your vote, and maybe throw a friend a little bit of a heads up on his categories for there. All right.
Yes, very, very proud of Michael as the creator of the RPG Academy and a Catacon. This is the first time he has published a game book. Immensely proud of him for doing that, and then to get nominated for an Emmy right off the rip. That's just icing on the cake. But of course, we can make that cake a lot better with those votes, which opens up again on July 12th. But in the meantime, let's dig into what happened last time on Neon Trails. The crew watched the cyber cult working on the derelict Kaiju-class rover. Dog noticed that only certain parts of the rover were being activated and connected to racks of quantum communication hardware scattered throughout the cave. He theorized that the rover could potentially become sentient under the right circumstances. The crew discussed their plans at length, agreeing that the cult had to be stopped, but were unsure of the best way to approach the task. Drall called Paperboy, who suggested they acquire some of the communication devices so they can figure out the cult's plans. While this was happening, tech in the caves came online, uniting all of the cult members and their actions. Galen called Mercury, asking for backup due to the size and scope of the cult's actions. Mercury agreed, but didn't think he could get the Dust Jockey forces down there in time. He said he would check if there were any local help he could contact. Based on help from Argos, the crew confirms their plans to target the cult's communication tech and do as much damage to the Rav and cult as possible. Dog had the idea to plant explosives along the entrance tunnel so they could cave it in as they ran. Umbra was sent to explore the cave and map any potential exits. Suddenly, makeshift gun turrets activated, targeting the crew. The resulting exchange attracted the attention of the cult. The crew engaged the first group of cult members that attacked. Drall started tossing explosives around the cave. Galen took a few hard hits and then was disabled by an EMP arrow. B suffered a serious gunshot wound. Mox prepared to hold off more attackers and sent Argos to disrupt the gun turrets. And that is exactly where we left off. We will start right there to maintain a little bit of the tension that we have built here. We are going to stay in initiative rounds just to keep the decision making and the momentum going. Let's start with a Drall. What do you want to do?
Okay.
I'm so sorry. You're eating right now.
It's stress eating. It's fine.
What would you like to do?
Grenade.
Okay.
Just a bag of grenades, just everywhere. No, I think what Drall's gonna do is she's gonna take him. Just grenades. Question mark.
There's a sticker, Mallo.
So she sees these the turrets. She sees that we're in some shenaniganry, and the turret that looks to be the most fast acting, right? Sure. The one who looks like it's aimed right there. She is going to immediately just go shit, and she's going to take her grenade and she is going to fucking drug it.
Okay. Why don't you give me an attack roll for the throw?
Okay. Sorry, I was stress eating instead of getting on my dice.
That's totally fair. That is totally fair.
You know.
As long as you weren't stress eating the dice, because that's bad times.
That's a 10.
Okay. So in this moment of...
13.
13, even better. So in this moment of panic, as you are looking around, you see one of the gun placements spinning into life, like the movement caught your periph, and so you went right to there. As I said last time, these makeshift gun placements are really very haphazardly scattered all around this cave. It's not like they're installed in a grid pattern or anything that would be like technically sound. They were just kind of slapped up anywhere. And the one that was just starting to move was bolted or kind of zip tied to an outcropping of the rock. Not quite a stalactite, but just kind of something out there. And as it whirs to life, you chuck the grenade over there. It connects and explodes. If you would like to roll some damage for me, please.
Is that a
D8? We did it last time, and I totally forget.
Maybe. I have D8
grenades
written down here, but I don't know what that refers to.
Your grenades are... 3d12. 3d12. Speaking of d12s.
Yep.
$20. Sorry, I had to count on my fingers.
Excellent. So there is, again, an ear-splitting roar as the grenade detonates. It impacts the rock. Dust and debris is blown back as the impact waves kind of wash over you. Not only does the gun placement fall to the ground, but a bunch of the rocks from the ceiling and surrounding area also start to fall, which fall on top of a lot of the cult members who were in the cave below you. From there, let's move to B. Last we were with you, you were bleeding, and Galen had just slapped an anticoagulant into your gaping chest wound.
Yep.
What would you like to do?
Well, my first instinct is to try to stick my fingers into the wound to see if it's actually coagulated. However, we're not doing that tonight, Jack.
Maybe not the best idea. Squeak, squishy, squeak.
I think bees, they're going to be kind of shocked. Like, they didn't think they were going to get shot. They're young, they think they're invincible, they don't even think to wear armor. Like, this is a whole new experience. And then they get a giant needle stuck into their chest, like, to impart some medicine that they've never experienced. So they're in shock. And they're like grabbing for Galen's arm, like, what was that? What did you do to me? Is this payback? I'm sorry.
I feel like maybe B grabs the non-functioning cyber arm accidentally, and then is confused why Galen is not responding in any way.
Galen, I'm sorry. Is your arm okay?
Galen just kind of like lets it flop around a little bit, like, no, it's not gonna be okay on this one. How's the wound?
Gaping.
Well, you're not bleeding anymore. That's good.
Well, thank you for that. How long does this take to set so I can help?
Seconds.
Okay. Well, B's gonna reach into one of their pockets and pull out a nano thermite grenade and take stock of the entire team and where they're standing, take the grenade and go whoop over towards where they think the enemies are.
Okay. So why don't you give me an attack roll for that with a pretty serious penalty for your damage. Go ahead and just give me a regular roll, and I'll apply that penalty behind the scenes.
That's great, because I rolled 2d20 just to see if I could do it at disadvantage, and I got 2 17s, so...
Oh, okay.
Your magic, Sky God!
Love it. So, what happens here is B chucks the grenade. It hits it hits a little bit of the rocky outcropping around her. It bounces kind of like pinball style, boop, 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 and then flies out after one of these bounces into the open air. It does go towards the rest of the cult and this larger group below them. But it's really just kind of being flung haphazardly. She wasn't aiming for a specific target, but it does get to where you wanted it to go. So roll some damage for me. That's 4d8 in a 15-foot radius and 2d6 in a larger 25-foot radius.
Oh, that's so juicy. Okay, so you said 4d8.
4d8 in the immediate blast range.
And then...
I just switched my pages. And then 2d6 for the larger radius.
Here we go. Okay, I got... Oh, I'm trying to do mental math right now. Hold with me here real quick.
We've all had a tough day. It's all right. We've all had a tough couple days.
We're here. 22 with the d8s and an 8 with the d6s.
Okay.
Cumulative 30.
So there is a phosphorus white explosion, and if anyone happened to be looking that way, your eyes as this thermite fires off, the incendiary burning into the immediate tech and unfortunate cult members in the area, and it continues to burn and start eating its way through what it has impacted. Let's go to Galen.
So, Galen is going to stand up. He's going to reach behind him and pull out 3 knives. And he's going to hand them over to B.
Okay.
And he kind of looks at him and he's just like, don't hit the button on the bottom till you're ready for him to explode.
Oh boy.
And then he's going to turn his body at it and then point down at his leg. And he's like, use one of those to prop that open for me real quick.
Okay. And they do that.
Can you hand me Juliet out of the concealed weapons port, please?
Oh, yeah. Hold on 1 second. B's gonna grab Juliet. Hefter, go. She's a pretty lady. Here you go.
So he's got that in his left hand. The right hand's still dangling. And he just kind of looks at it. It's like, and we move on. And he starts walking down the ridge a little bit towards where the cult and the kaiju is and stuff like that.
Okay. Can you remind our listeners, though, who Juliet is? I don't think we've seen her for a while.
Juliet is a 45 millimeter or 45 caliber whisper pistol.
Millimeter.
Yeah, millimeter would be very small. Very small. 45 caliber pistol. It is chrome plated. Louder than God's revolver and twice as shiny for those who know that reference. And so it's about all I can do now since I only got one working arm. My shotgun, my metal rifle, and everything like that, it's kind of useless with one hand. Unless you just want me to come in shooting, wildly everywhere around, which, might be a tactic we use later on. We'll see. But before he walks off, he's going to turn back to B. He's like, how many more of those arrows you got?
I got and they count on their fingers, a bunch.
Okay, well, you've got all 10 fingers. That's good. We're going to go destroy this thing down here, or at least disable it enough where it can't come back out.
The big guy, or the...
Yes.
Oh,
and then he just turns and starts walking off.
We will scramble up after him as quickly as they can.
And Mox, last we saw, you were kind of taking up a sentry spot. You sent Argos off to do some recon. What are you doing right now?
So I believe the very last thing Mox did was unload 5 shots from the sweeper machine gun.
You did.
Into some people who were running up and just turned them into meat chunks.
They are no longer running up, yes.
So I had sent Argos. He first was looking for a way to disrupt their communications. We located and tagged that.
Yes.
I then sent him looking for a way to either disrupt or take control of the ceiling-mounted turrets.
Correct.
Given the fact that I have a watcher, an artificial eye, looking through his perspective, is he, or just asking him, have you found it yet, buddy?
You asked me like 6 seconds ago, boss. Give me a second.
It's been a long fucking 6 seconds, though, right?
I know, it feels like it's been about 2 weeks, but yeah. Doing my best. Give me that.
Sorry, not trying to rush you. I know you're a professional, but anytime.
You flesh and blood people don't understand what we do. It's okay. I'm working on it.
Just shoot some people while I wait.
So he is moving towards... He was already in kind of like one of those collections of server stacks up on the ridge. It's not like he was right next to you. He was already over there, and you see him moving towards another point within this little area. So he's looking around for things. He's checking with things.
I think at this point, I believe you didn't say there were any more currently running up the slope.
Correct.
So I think Mox will then, after communicating with Argos, take advantage of this quick respite and finally notice that Dog is not around and hasn't been communicating as much with the team. Babe, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Wait, what are y'all doing? I'm back here. Come on back here.
Shooting a fuck ton of bullets is what we're doing. Did you not hear it?
I did. I don't know.
Are we going or are we staying? He just shouts out to everyone.
We're going to take that moment, though, to smash cut over to Dog outside of the caves, back where you first entered. For the sake of continuing our initiative tracker here, can you give me an initiative check for Dog, please?
Sure. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting Dog has a penalty to initiative. A 7.
Perfect. All right. So Dog exited the caves, planting dynamite along the way. He has been waiting outside for the crew. In the last few minutes, he's heard a lot of explosions and gunfire, and now Mox has called him on the glow line. So what is Dog gonna do?
Call back and be like, y'all okay? Y'all coming? What's going on? Someone tell me what's happening. Sorry, nervous burp, Morty.
You hear explosions. You hear a cacophony of noise that you can't really decipher.
Y'all, I'm hearing a cacophony. What's going on?
Grenade.
Grenade? Yeah. I got them. Y'all are doing grenades?
Yes.
She holds up a grenade. Like this one?
Shit, I got a whole bag of them out here. If I'd known you grenades. Come on, y'all come on out here and get them. Bring them, come on.
Dog, can you also give me a perception check, please?
Oh boy, can I. Big 5 up in the house. Dog's very perceptive right now.
All right, so you are really focused on trying to understand what is going on. The crew is not giving you a whole lot of information, and you're a little bit torn as to, should you go back in? Should you wait here? Should you call someone else? Like you were just really, really focused on trying to solve this problem. So that's really all you're paying attention to right now. Let's go back into the caves. Drall, what would you like to do?
Grenade.
Wonderful. Again, just chucking it into the group below you.
Who else is looking pretty shitty? I'm gonna chuck it at those guys.
Okay, that's fair.
Do, skip, pull, toss.
Drall's like
All
cutely casting fireball. Like...
So give me an attack roll to see if this goes, where you're intending it.
6.
Okay. So as you rear back and throw, this one hits the side of the cave wall and bounces not back at you, but it kind of bounces and lodges itself in a weird spot. When it explodes, there is a rocking of the cave, and a big chunk of the ceiling starts to come down, it does not block the entrance that you used to enter the cave, but it does partially block it.
So Drall, upon seeing that it hits something, ricochet, already knows it's going to go sideways, clenches her jaw, sees it, and steps slightly backward, puts the secondary grenade she had back in her bag, and pulls out her plasma pistol. And is like, "Oh, who did that? Who did that?" Wow.
B, you saw Galen start to move down the ridge towards the rest of the cult. An explosion has just cast a wave of dust and rock and debris kind of across where the crew was standing. It didn't damage anybody, but it's a little bit smoky up here, a little bit messy. What would you like to do?
Well, B's gonna follow Galen into the smoky debris rock field.
Okay.
With their bow out and one of the Ronin knives in their other hand. Just kind of like wincing, but also like just being like, gotta hurry. Oh, gotta hurry.
All right. Are you more focused on just following Galen right now and navigating the difficult path, or are you looking for any targets or anything like that?
B's more focused on following Galen right now.
Gotcha.
They have a very limited amount of focus, especially with how much pain they're in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They did notice the grenade snafu that happened, and they yelled out, "Nice!" as it echoed through the cave. And
let's smash cut back to Dog. Can you, as you were standing out there kind of puzzling over everything that's going on, give me another perception check, please.
Oh boy. That's a good one. 7.
All right.
Yeah.
So
really on it.
Welcome to my perception rolls from the last episode.
Just out in the desert, there's gunshots and explosions in the cave, and I'm like, seems like something's going on in there.
The echoing of what's coming down the tunnel, it's really confusing. You're not really sure what's going on. And quite suddenly, you feel a tug at your pants leg.
Oh, my pants leg.
You look down, Umbra seemingly has come out of nowhere because you didn't see her come up. And she is like trying to get your attention.
What's up, kiddo? What you need?
She clicks over her display and a little AR hologram pops up. And you see an almost fully completed map of the cave system. And you see the tunnel that you are standing in front of, highlighted, and where the rest of the crew is. You also see all of the other tunnels and almost the entire rest of the tunnel complex that is cut through these caves here. And about another 4 or 5 of them have been highlighted as likely exit paths from the cave. And Umbra is displaying little emoji icons by these other paths of like little dynamite sticks and explosions and then question marks.
Oh my god, I can't read. This is so helpful. Yes. Thank you. Finally, you get it. You get me. I like you.
And she kind of tilts her head to the side in the "what do you want to do?" Nonverbal communication.
You said some of them have explosion emojis? Like,
Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah.
It is pretty easy to gather from what she is saying from context that she has identified the most likely exit routes from the cave. And if your original plan was to eliminate those exit routes, she's telling you where they are.
Ooh, okay. Okay. All right. Hey, gang, y'all. Umber's here, and she's telling me about some other tunnels to blow up, so that the robots, zombies, the robots can't exit. Y'all want me to go blow it up? Or you want me to run back in? What do you need? What do y'all need? Someone answer me. And don't just say grenades.
Well, blow up does require some sort of explosive, so.
Dog tempers it.
Count to 10.
He's so close to yelling. I told y'all I have a bag of grenades, but yes, it does, and I have a lot of them. Yes.
Babe, don't you have like a whole bag full of grenades?
I do have a whole bag.
Oh, good. I'm just making sure I
I'm
remember
not
that.
going to
right.
scream that in my apartment, the rest of that statement.
Thank you.
What were they saying next door? A whole bag of...
Grenades. I knew this was a rough area, but Jesus, oh my goodness. On the second floor as well.
Just some home defense grenades, you know.
Totally
Molotovs.
peaceful Molotov.
Peaceful Molotovs, yep.
Perfect.
Galen is trying to process this all in real time, and he's just kind of like, does that keep us from leaving the place, or is that just them?
No.
Cool, blow some shit up then.
It'll blow up to where the robots can't leave. Y'all come out the tunnel that I set the explosives on. By the way, if you didn't know I said explosives in the tunnel y'all were in, and you could run out.
Love it. Let's do
Should
it.
have told you.
Well, I appreciate it.
Time to go hiking.
All right, so you head off. Umbra is a pace or two ahead of you. Not only does she keep the map displayed with like a little "you are here" dot, but she's also just leading you to where you need to go.
God, she's the Diablo map overlay. I love her.
Galen, what are you doing as you are walking down towards the thick of it? In front of you, you're not all the way down the ridge, and in the time you've been walking, but the ridge does kind of turn and open up a little bit. This is a real big cave. Like, this is football field, soccer field, big. There was maybe several hundred, maybe 1,000 cult members down here with all their equipment on top of a kaiju rover half buried under the rocks in the middle of the room. A bunch of explosions have gone off. Your ears are ringing a little bit. There's a lot of dust in the air. You don't have like the best visibility to where you're going. And the path you're on was also damaged by some explosions recently, and there's some bodies to kind of step over. So that's what you're walking into and towards.
So Galen's essentially trying to plow the road, so to speak, to get us in enough of a position where B could try to, even if we just have to throw the damn arrows, like get them close enough to disable enough pieces of tech so that thing doesn't wake up.
Cool. Can you give me a tactics check?
Oh yeah, that's great.
I'm excited to hear this number. All right.
My man.
You're struggling you're trying. You've got this plan locked in, and this is the type of plan that you are so focused on. Anything in the way just doesn't matter.
Anything in the way gets shot, unless it's beat.
you have zeroed in on your end goal, and the steps to get there aren't going to change your mind no matter what.
Yeah, because if that thing wakes up, we are on a level of fucked we haven't been in yet.
So you are plowing forward. There is no immediate threat. No one is rising up to punch you or strike you. But you do see the thick of it. The crowd of cult members are all in front of you. They have all turned kind of in unison. You see them acting in concert like they started doing last time. And they are all following your movement. They are not moving to attack you, but they are very clearly aware of you and what you are doing.
B, we might want to just start trying to disable some shit before they run at us.
Okay. Do you see where I should where am I shooting, Galen? There's so many things on this giant thing. Are there like, I don't know, you know how like in old video games they had those glowing spots?
Can we see, and this is probably going to be a perception check, can we see the connectors leading into the rover? Like where the rover meets all the other stuff? Or is there... Because if not, we're aiming for the head.
So I will give you two answers. The first answer is based on what you saw last time, which your characters would remember. You saw that most of the cover plating of the rover has been dismantled. So almost everything is exposed. You see the skeletal structures, you see the circuitry, the internal workings, and there are hundreds and hundreds of cables running across the room connecting to all these different parts. One of the things that happened last time was that one particular portion lit up on the rover itself, and that happened at the same time all the communication equipment around the room activated.
Okay.
So you see many potential access points and damage points. If you want to make a specific perception check to find a specific target based on what you're saying now, that can be a check.
Do we see the black box? Is that a roll? Let me ask that.
I'm gonna say it is a roll. Galen is pretty experienced with rovers, so he knows what he's looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and give me a check, mostly for just kind of looking through the chaos to see if you can find it.
We're gonna spend a reroll on that one.
Love it.
Okay, that's better. I'm gonna spend well spent reroll. That's a 19.
Perfect. Yes, you are able to kind of focus through the haze of both the pain, the discomfort, the stress of the situation, the bad lighting. You are able to see that while it's not 100% exposed, you can identify where the black box and the related tech and hookups and equipment are. Like I said, not fully exposed, but you know where it is.
So he swings the pistol around and takes one shot at the black box, and he's like, "See where I'm shooting? You shoot that." He turns back to aim towards the other ones.
Okay.
So a little tiny bullet just pings off of the rover.
Yep.
All right, and then Mox.
Mox, there is so much, smoke from fired bullets and rubble from the bullets ricocheting and impacting into rock that he doesn't think the smoke of a cigarette or two will really be noticed. So as he's sitting up there just like looking through Argos's eye, come on, find something. I need a way in. Give me a way in. If he's waiting for a way to get into the system, in the meantime, he will take pot shots if there are any cultists that are harassing any of his allies.
So you see through the equipment, none of them have taken that aggressive step towards your team, but there are hundreds, if not closer to 1,000 cult members around you.
Like all just in this one space? Yeah. Jesus Christ. Well, if they haven't taken an aggressive posture, maybe there's a reason. Then Mox is going to just like take huge drags off of the cigarette, just one of those cartoonish things where like in 2 puffs the entire cigarette is turned to ash.
Yep.
Just come the fuck on. And is just going to wait for his chance to get into the system.
Okay. That happens, and then I'm gonna need everyone except Dog to roll me a defensive check as some machine gun placements spin to life and take a shot at each of you.
Not again!
I'm also going to spend a reroll because that was a 4 on the die.
Well, am I on crack? I can't find it on my sheet.
It's just your agility.
D20 plus agility.
Okay. Hello. Yes, thank you.
15 for Mox.
Okay. Drall.
16.
B.
Jesus Christ.
13.
And Galen.
Well, it was a 9 on the die,
Oof.
plus agility, but minus the penalty because I can't actually move as fast. So it's actually more like a 7.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, everyone's getting shot.
With a reroll.
All right. Mox. Oh my god. You are taking 12 damage to your left arm.
Remind me the way that armor gets applied. If I take 12 damage to something that has an armor 16, so I just subtract that down and make it a 4?
Yep.
Yes.
It's
Cool.
damage reduction. Drall, you have taken 7 damage to your left leg.
Thank God it wasn't my arm. I'm real close.
B has 4 damage to her left arm.
It's just a flesh wound.
Oh, well, speaking of flesh wound, Galen, you take 1 damage to also your left arm.
Oh, I was really hoping it was the right arm because I was just going to laugh.
Yeah. So the machine guns all shatter off. Dog, you hear gunfire over the open comms as you're moving around, and we're going to go back up to Drall.
Okay, so everybody is kind of gone a direction. Can I see them? Can I see them still? Like where they're chilling?
So you saw Galen and B march down the ramp ridge kind of thing. It's not impossible to see where they are, but it's not like you have a clear line of sight to them. You do have a better line of sight to Mox, who kind of moved off and is further up the ridge in more of a defensive sniper spot.
I'm probably gonna try to head up that direction.
Okay.
And there are still guns on the ceiling, right?
Yeah, they're scattered all over the place.
They're just like everywhere. Grenade? No, I'm going to fire my plasma pistol at whatever one is not currently over where I think my friends might be.
Okay, cool. Give me an attack roll.
Well,
All right.
Is that all right?
You fire off a shot. As you are moving, you do see it connect. It connects more with like the rock behind the gun, but it does hit the like how it was attached, the attachment point, how they bolted it to the rock. So if you want to give me a damage check.
25.
Well, I was going to say you knocked it sideways, but you just completely shattered the attachment point. So a ramshackle machine gun placement falls to the ground.
Yay! And she's gonna with her pistol, caution to the wind on safety, just and tries to go up and find a spot to look out.
Okay, you can do that. We'll go to B.
Having been shown where the black box of this giant Rav is, B is going to take out an explosive arrow and an EMP arrow and go up to Galen and go, which one?
EMP. EMP.
Got a little grenade dust in your throat? You okay? Okay.
I'll whiskey later, yes.
Oh, yes, so much whiskey. If we make it through this, it's all whiskey. Okay, EMP it goes! And B's gonna knock the arrow, pull back, and
Probably hurts real bad. Give me that attack roll.
Oh, God. I'm gonna spend a reroll.
Burn him while we got him.
Season finale.
Smoke him if you got him.
Hold on, I have proficiency in bow. That's helpful. Okay. With the proficiency, I got a 14. How does that sound?
All right. So B pulls back, fires off the arrow, but because of the damage to your chest, you don't have full draw on the bowstring, so the arrow falls short. What it does do, however, is it still tips towards and connects with some big pile of equipment. You don't know exactly what it is, but it's just a big mess of equipment all stacked on top of each other and bolted together, and there's cables running all around it looking pretty ridiculous. And the EMP goes off. So if you can give me that EMP damage.
14 on that too. We're just doing double numbers tonight. That's weird.
And you see the pop of the arrow. You see kind of that almost instantaneous blue burst that kind of disappears as soon as you see it. That kind of like brightness in your eyes that isn't really there if you press on it too hard, like that after image of the EMP going off. And then you see the pile of equipment, whatever it was, starting to smoke and spark, and an undiscernible number of cult members kind of stagger, not fall to the ground around it, but they clearly react to being impacted by this EMP burst. We are going to go back outside the caves to Dog. Give me a survival check.
Oh, okay. Well, survived this long, right? Should be good. Oh my God. A natural 20. Single digits and then natural 20.
That's karma balancing out. All right. So you as an experienced scavenger. As Umbra is showing you the path, you see it as she is showing it to you, very quickly scrambling through the desert scruff to get to where you need to be, the rough brush. You get to the first spot that Umbra has shown you. It wasn't even very clearly a tunnel entrance from where you were standing before, but she is taking you to a spot where there's like a little bit of an overhang and the cave entrance is kind of below it. So you wouldn't have found it if she hadn't shown it to you, but you are able to quickly locate it and start to plant some explosives around the cave entrance. While you are doing this, though, something catches your attention. You're not sure if it is just your peripheral vision or just some instinct from being so used to kind of that danger sense of being out here in the desert. But you stand and you spin looking out across the desert. You remember when you first got here, there was kind of a rough path, not a road, because this part of the desert is completely uninhabited, but kind of like an old dry creek bed, a little bit of a gully. And there was that truck that had dropped off a shipment of salvaged junk when you first got here. You remember seeing that?
Yeah.
Along that same path, you now see something moving. You're not quite sure what it is. You give it a little bit of a closer look. You see something coming down this, again, not a road, but just like a path through the desert sand. You do that thing where you're like, you rub your eyes real quick and you're like, what? That can't be, what? Like you look at it, you see it, you know what it is, and you look away because you don't believe you're seeing what you're seeing. It almost looks like a boat. It looks like an old-fashioned, you saw it in the movies, pirate ship. But it seems to be about the size of a truck, like a big 4x4. And you see a couple people hanging off the back of it. They sure look like pirates. It's weird.
Well, yeah.
As soon as you see this and your brain starts to try to process what you're seeing, there is, like the old 80s slasher movies or something along those lines. Speaking of old B action movies, Action 12 Cinema in the Ennies on July 12th. Something like bursts up from the ground. Like, you know, where the killer might have been hiding under the floorboards or under the ground, and then like rah, jumps up on the unsuspecting teens going through the camp who just want to have a good time. Something leaps up from under the desert sand and engulfs this vehicle. The vehicle slams to a halt, kind of tail spins in the sand and dirt. You see emerging from the ground maybe a dozen of the cult members, the cybered out cult members. They attack, swarming over this weird vehicle, grabbing the few figures that you saw, pulling them to the ground. And this is so hard for you to just process as you were seeing this. It is happening. Not only is it so unbelievable, but it's happening so fast. You see them, the cult members, like take chunks of the tech off of their bodies and start like slamming it into these people that they have attacked. As you are trying to process that, we will go back into the cave. Galen, you are trying to paint these targets for B. B has just fired off an EMP arrow. You see a text message come in from Mercury. It says, my teams are en route, but hours away. Called in a few favors with local friends. Keep an eye out.
Okay. That does not fill Galen with a lot of wonderful feelings at the moment. It's the hours out thing that is the problem. He's just going to start shooting the shit in front of him.
All right. Start taking some shots.
Because hopefully B will get another one of these EMPs off and disable this thing, and we can exfil and get the fuck out of here. Okay, I'll take those rolls. 2 shots. One is a 16 and the other is a natural 20.
Cool. So yeah, you connect with just 2 of the cult members that are in the crowd in front of you. Why don't you give me the crit damage first?
As soon as I find my other D8. Okay, screw it. 18 on the crit.
Oof. Oh. So that one connects, and that cult member just drops. They sparking and fizzing, something fries. Like you see that. Think of that like classic video game. Someone got electrified and you can see their bones.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like sparking and twitching, and everything was illuminated, and it just crumples to the ground.
Cool. The second one is 13 to the head.
Okay. So that one kind of, the head rocks backwards. You see that figure kind of sway a little bit, and after a split second, drop to the ground. You're not sure in the heat of the moment if they are down for the count or they are just stunned so bad they can't move right now. And from there, we're going to go to Mox. Mox, I don't know if you remember from last time, but you did observe that a different group of the cult members went to a different part of the cave. You saw them move that way, but you didn't actually see where they went. But you had the instinct that they might be coming up this way in like a pincer move. You see them coming up this way in a pincer move. They are exiting a different part of the cave on the same ridge you are on. They are not like stepping out of a secret door immediately on top of you, but you hear like a rock shifting and movement. And there's a group of 5 starting to come your way.
Okay.
You are able to see them though, because you were kind of ready for this. Something is going to happen. So you are able to react before they do anything.
If I may, simply because this is the season finale, we have this moment where the camera is focusing on where they are exiting out of, and then just cuts over to Mox seeing it, finishing the last little bit of his cigarette, flicking it away, using his fist to get the machine gun ready, and then just 5 shots. I'm trying to take one at each one of them.
Perfect.
Okay. Just doing it on the computer because it's going to be oh so much faster.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I add a +3, I think. Is with the update, do I just add my agility, or
Yes.
do I also? Okay, just the agility. Okay, so it's +1. So in that case, I assume one will be a miss with an 8.
Yeah.
The others, from lowest to highest, are 16, 17, 18, 18.
Those all hit.
Sweet.
So one of them goes wild as you were you pulled a smidge too early as you were moving the gun to point in that direction, but the last 4 all connect. So
Still look cool.
it looked cool as shit.
All right, first one
That's
is going to be.
That's a scene for the trailer with in time to the music of a cool pop song. Yeah.
Some pithy catchphrase. First one is 19 damage.
Okay.
Oh, you need me to roll for where? Yes.
Yeah, let's start with that. It doesn't super matter, but it would be helpful. With 19 damage, that's quite a bit.
That's to his right leg.
Gotcha. So
Second.
you see that one still moving but severely hampered.
Second one is going to this person's left leg.
Okay.
For hold on one second. 17 damage to the left leg there.
Okay. Similar response.
Next person, this is going to the body. And 14 damage.
Okay.
Last
see that-
one.
That one that you hit in the body, you see it's not armor, it's just layer upon layer of tech, but you see it crack and sizzle and sparks flying everywhere.
And the last one will be to that individual's right leg for another 17 damage.
Man, lots of repetitive numbers tonight. So yeah, that one again falters and stumbles, not completely incapacitated, but definitely slowed. Those of you on the ground floor or closer to the ground floor of the cave suddenly hear rapid gunfire from where you just were. The one that you did not hit is striding towards you, Mox, as quickly as it can. It is not going to get within striking distance, but it does see a chunk of rock on the ground and kicks it at you. Give me a defensive roll, please. He is attacking you with a 17.
He'll hit.
Okay. So you're firing off these guns, and then as the smoke clears, you suddenly shit. A big chunk of rock is flying towards your head. It's actually flying towards your body for only 1 damage. Pink.
That took my 60 armor
59.
down to 59.
Tink, tink. All right.
Fuck.
And yet, in the surprise of this moment, the machine guns all take a shot at all of you again.
Fuck!
Give me defensive rolls for everyone inside the cave. Again, with
17.
repetitive numbers.
That's my nat 20 for the night, 21.
Okay. What'd you say, Drall? I'm sorry.
17.
Okay. B.
I just used a reroll because I crit failed.
Ooh.
Me and I using these things like candy right now.
Yeah. So hungry for sugar. Thank you for rerolls.
And Galen?
That is a 17. Thank you, reroll.
I'm going to say I also saw a very similar number show up on my D20 over here, and yet everyone except Mox took a shot. So, Drall, you're taking 3 damage to your body. B, you are taking 3 damage to your head. And Galen, 2 damage to your body. So many 17s are showing up. But that is going to take us round the horn back to Drall. So the guns are firing off. You just saw a bunch of cyber cult members seemingly spring out of the wall over where Mox was. He fired at them. One of them sort of kind of attacked him, but nothing really happened. You know that Dog is running around outside with explosives. What would you like to do?
And just got shot by some guns, right?
You just got shot by some guns, yes.
Well, fuck. I think trying to shoot the person who just shot me is going to be the most mature action. So if that's going to be possible, it's going to be great. It's going to be a knee-jerk reaction, too, because she's, like, holding her plasma pistol. She's like, okay, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the... Ow!
All right, yeah, so you're going to take a shot at one of the machine gun placements that's been pinging at you.
That's a natural 1.
Would you like to use a reroll?
Yeah.
Do I have any? Because I would really love to do that.
Got 5.
I do?
Yes.
Holy shit! Why did I? Okay, cool.
This is what happens when we're focused on the game stuff and don't always see what's on the Twitch screen.
That's a 21.
Very nice. Throw me some damage.
I'm gonna like Mock said. I'm gonna make the computer do it because it's like so much easier. $21.
Wow.
3, 4, 5, 8, 1.
Yeah, double.
This is fucking handy.
Competitive
right
numbers
here.
in our favor tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Again, your shot connects exactly where you wanted it to, severing the connection point of the machine gun, sending it crashing to the ground. You notice something though.
Oh.
You reacted in the heat of the moment, like bam, but you follow the thing as it falls. You notice that the derelict rover, which before only part of it was illuminated, the rest of it is now illuminated.
How did I turn it on?
You see active lights pulsing through all of the different components and sensor modules. You see lights running along all the different cables and wires that are connected to all these different hodgepodge things all around the room, all these different piles of equipment. Now, I know what you're going to do. You also see that now it's hard to put words on it, but like there is a almost snap to attention kind of rigidity in all of the cult members throughout the room. Before, when there was that slight change, it seemed like they were just moving more in concert, communicating better, working together. Now they are one entity. And you see them all moving over to where B and Galen are.
Drall, upon seeing this, will politely shit her pants. And then immediately run towards her friends with her hands
politely
in the air. Fuck, they're awake! Yeah.
B, you are on the ground floor. You fired off the arrow. You're hearing gunfire. You feel more than you see the sense of motion in unity and concert with all of these figures around you and Galen. You hear Drall shouting over the din, but you don't really hear her words. You just hear her voice and her volume. And yes, that unfortunate pants incident. What would you like to do?
Well, I suppose I should start with maybe a perception check.
I would love a perception check.
Just to see
The shit.
and how deep of shit we are.
3 feet. No.
3 feet. That's a lot of shit.
Coming up to your knees, at least.
My knees are bee's knees. Ha. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. 15.
Okay. So, yeah, kind of running on instinct, you feel the change in the room around you.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look a little bit closer. You see not only are the cult members moving in unison, but like the lights on all of their equipment are like pulsing in unison. You look up because you see like a brighter source of light almost. You realize that the Kaiju rover is also showing active lights now across it. The lights are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like the same lights that are pulsing from that are what's pulsing in this massive group of people that are all now moving as one. And you see that very clearly they are all closing in on you and Galen.
Are they in between us and the Rav?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's more or less in the center of the room, and you are on the edge of the room.
Okay. And one last question before I jump into action here. Do we have a visible escape route from this?
The way you came.
Okay. Hi, Galen.
Yes.
Hey, Galen. So I think that our tech friends are having the same rave, if you get what I mean. All their lights are flashing together, and they look like they're coming right for us. We should either GTFO or cause as much mayhem as we can, and then GTFO.
I like the latter.
Okay. Do you want to throw an explosive with me, or some grenades or something?
Yep.
Lay down some fire. I have these nanothermite grenades that I used. I know you saw me use one, but I'm kind of excited and I'm really nervous right now. And I kind of babble when I'm nervous. So, should we just throw it?
You hit the EMP arrow, I'll throw the grenade.
Okay. Here, take these. And B's gonna try to hand you 2 nanothermite grenades, one for each hand. And then go, oh, right.
Oops.
Sorry. And then put the other one down by your foot and be like, this is where the other one is. Good luck. And then take aim with the EMP arrows.
All right, give me a shot. Feels like it's going to be a low number.
I really need a reroll for that too. I am just getting shat on by these dice. Okay. 11.
All right. And you were aiming more towards the Kaiju rover again?
Yeah.
Okay. So same thing happens, only worse this time. You go to pull back the string and it just hurts so bad. Like the muscles are just like not able to move. Ugh. And you let go
too.
Yeah. You let go far too early. The arrow, it does that thing where like in the cartoons where the shot almost goes straight up and then just arcs right back down. It is not doing that like on your head. This is not lawn darts where you have to get out of the way. It does still go ahead of you a little bit and it just explodes in the crowd.
Oh, I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, if you want to give me a roll for that EMP damage.
I got a total of 13.
Cool. So, like before, it's harder to see this time just because of how exhausted you are at this point. But you do see that pop and flash and residual afterimage of the EMP blast. Before you saw the cult members like kind of react to it and fall and stumble a little bit. This time, they don't even react. Like you see their equipment sparking, but they do not react in any way.
They're Terminators! Everybody, they're Terminators!
Dog, back outside, this weird pirate ship truck thing has seemingly been destroyed. You are watching some of these cult members attack it and deal with these people. You then, again, believe it or not, you start hearing like glam rock. You start hearing like crazy guitar wailing, beats pumping through the desert, bouncing off of the rock walls. You're looking around, you don't know what's going on. You suddenly hear the rev of motorcycle engines, like very fast, very small, very high speed. And
hell yeah.
You see a group of like super chromed out, super lit up with neon accents, kind of pulsing in time with the music. You see maybe a dozen motorcycles like just roar out of the desert. You don't even know exactly where they came from. You see a burst of pyrotechnics like behind them, like fireworks accenting their entrance. This is the most wild thing you've ever seen. They land on the road. One of them like roars up the side of the rock wall, jumps off into the air, and like the rider does a flip off of the bike, landing in the thick of the weird cult members fighting the weird maybe pirate people. And it's like this absolute chaos of action and color and music. And suddenly you see these weird kind of glam rock wild people have engaged this group of the cult members and are tussling with them. You hear guns going off, you hear a flamethrower, an explosion rocks the desert.
Can Dog roll a check, like a perception check on himself, like an internal? It's like, is he seeing things? Like, it's the desert. We're in the middle of nowhere, and he's like, why are my favorite things like happening right now? I got things to do, and I want to join.
So, I'm gonna say, what about an underworld check?
So,
do you have
I was gonna ask if there was a internal turmoil check, but underworld works. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Oh yeah. The dirty 20 for
dirty 20.
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You suddenly get really excited.
I already was, but let's go.
6 to midnight. You suddenly remember you have heard at Ferdy's bar. You have heard stories from various people coming in and out of Solace of a group in the desert, not quite a gang, not quite a team, definitely smaller in scale than the Dust Jockeys, but they call themselves the Vainglorious.
Oh my fucking god.
And
Dog is just like, oh my goodness.
You have heard stories from truckers and drivers and merchants of people acting like this, and you like always hoped it was real, but you also knew they were like 3 sheets to the wind, drunk as shit, So you weren't sure if they were just like watching a music video while they were really tired. It's got to be them.
And let's just say, Dog will really ponder upon this later, but really impressed about their own pyrotechnics out here and having it set up. Wow. Just wow.
So you are watching this happen. Umbra, like, you pause to look at this. Umbra, like, what are you doing? Come on. Like, she's grabbing your pants and like tugging at you, trying to move you to go to the next spot.
I love you, robot. There's some badass shit going on over there. Take a second and look at it. And he's gonna turn her. Your camera. See?
Last time we saw Argos try to shrug. This time, Umbra is like giving you preteen side eye.
Well, do me a favor. Okay, fine. I get it. Take a record that. Make a TikTok, whatever it is, TikTok, Cyber Talk, whatever it is in 2099. Do it. I need it. I need evidence. It's like Bigfoot. Come on.
And maybe Umbra agrees with you, maybe not. You're not sure. But we are going to go back into the thick of action in the cave. Galen, what would you like to do?
So before B and I disengage, Galen is going to reach down, and he is going to engage the timer on the nanothermite grenades, both of them, the one in his hand, and he's going to push the one at his feet. Mm-hmm. He's going to underhand throw the one in his left hand because he's ambidextrous, but the left hand's still a little less. And then as he goes to kick the other one, he's just going to scream out, "Rave canceled!" And just try to take out as much. He's going to aim for the box with the one in his hand, and he's going to just try to take out everything in front of him with the other one.
All right, give me 2 attack rolls.
Okay, we're going to burn a reroll on one of them. That's better. That's a 16 and a 19.
Very good. Okay, so...
Nope.
Both of them luckily go where you want them to go. The underhand softball chuck sails into the depths of the crowd around you. The one that you kicked gets a little bit of air. You hear it thud and kind of smack around between some of the walls of bodies in front of you. But they're also moving and closing ranks, so it's like they're right there. But yeah, neither of them are too close to you currently to be caught in the radius if you want to roll some damage.
Okay, so I do end up at least getting it on the main rover, the first one.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So 12 damage in the radius to that.
Okay.
And then the closer ones. $25 damage to the rest of those guys.
Cool. So again, white hot, phosphorus flare, burning your eyes as these things ignite and then continue to burn, adding to the light and the heat and the chaos in the room. There is so much going on in your immediate vicinity. You don't really have enough of a clear eye line to see what is happening further into the crowd, especially close to the rover.
Yep. There's another 11 damage in the larger radius, by the way.
Okay, cool. You're pretty sure the one you chucked got over there, but you can't really tell how effective it was.
Yeah, so after that, I'm going to kind of grab the back of B's shirt collar, and we are walking back up towards our friends.
And then back up on top of the ridge, Mox. You just fired off all those rounds, and your internal communication watcher pings real quick. Hey boss, I can take out the guns if you want.
Did you find a way to take control of them?
I can give it a shot.
Try that first. If that doesn't work, take them down.
Okay.
Ah! Boom! Just gonna continue shooting at these 5 fuckers who tried to do a pincer move on me.
All right, give me another set of attack rolls.
Okay. Ooh. All right. Going in lowest to highest.
Okay.
11.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
19.
All of them miss.
Holy fuck! Dang!
So you thought you were firing right down the barrel, but now that these things are all moving with some sort of hive mind consciousness, you're shooting air. And they're all looming closer to you. They are all now within
Help! Somebody! Little guy here, getting attacked.
a few paces.
My guns aren't working. That's all I've got. I've got one thing.
They are all very close to you right now, though.
Attack.
Yeah. So could I get a defense roll from you, please?
That was so close to the 1, and then at the last second, just boom onto the 19. So 20, dirty 20.
Okay.
It might not matter, but at least it's not that 1.
I am really sorry to do this, but
Bring it on!
all of them loom faster than you can react, and they are all striking you and connecting in melee.
I have armor.
All right. So, the first one is going to be 7 damage to your left leg. Whoops. The next one is 6 damage to your left leg. Pull a different number, Jesus. The next one, this is the third one, is 6 damage to your body. The next one is 8 damage to your body. And the last one is 8 damage to your right leg. So basically, quick as a flash, these 5 cult members are on top of you, just pummeling you bodily, beating you down.
At the moment, they are still shredding and punching into armor. I still have armor on every body part. For now.
For now.
Time to use some EMP grenades on my next turn.
As that is concluding, you hear a strange whirring and clicking and grinding of gears, and you see sparks from the ceiling and walls around you as some of the gun placements. You've seen where like a machine is like has conflicting instructions. It's like jerking one way and jerking another way, and it's just stuck. It's like a glitch in the code or something. You see that happening. And your best guess is that this is a conflict between Argos and whatever's controlling these guns.
As Mox is just getting, as you said, pummeled bodily and just trying to step back, cover himself, trying to put his most armored sections forward, even in that moment, just good boy, Argus.
Drall, you have seen all of this chaos. You are painfully watching Mox get beaten. What would you like to do?
As she sees Mox getting beaten, she is going to panic and run full force, screaming at the top of her lungs towards these people, attacking Mox, and is going to fucking just shoot her plasma thing.
Okay.
She doesn't know what else to do.
Sure. Shooting wildly into the crowd.
Yep.
Give me an attack roll.
Pretty much. 21.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, 22.
Yeah. So that shot connects. Give me a placement, a D12, and your damage roll.
Placement, D12, damage roll. Okay, cool. So placement.
That's just a roll a D12 to see where it hits.
Oh, okay.
The
Cool.
cult guy.
Thanks so much. That's going to be a 10.
Cool. And how much
Rolling
damage?
My internet dice says 23.
All right. So the wild shot connects with the leg of one of these cult members as it was drawing back to kick at Mox again. And you see the circuits fry, you see sparks flying. But again, you are very unnerved by how these things don't react because they are singularly focused on their current task. B, Galen has just grabbed your collar and is dragging you backwards up towards where you came from.
Yeah.
What else are you doing? Are you going along with it? Are you doing something else?
B's gonna think very light thoughts, and while they're being dragged backwards, fire at the crowd
Okay.
as we're going up.
All
to
right.
try and
Give me
keep them off us.
Give me that attack roll.
Be nice to me, dice. Okay. Hold, please. I got a dirty 20.
Nice. All right. So this shot does connect with one of the cult members that is in this crowd coming closer and closer to you. It kind of sticks in their body for a second before the pop of the EMP goes off. So why don't you give me that EMP damage roll?
A 14.
Cool. Again, just like before, you see that pop, the damage obviously affects some of these figures. One or two of them do start moving in more halting, jerky motions. But the rest of the group, like just amoeba merges around them and is moving, and they're moving much, much faster. As Galen is dragging you backwards, they are now suddenly within a few paces of you.
I'm gonna Scooby-Doo scramble backwards so that I can start dragging Galen up as well so we can run up the ridge.
Dog, outside, you are seeing this continued living music video, action, fireworks, pyrotechnics, and then you hear a noise. And one more impossible thing after another. It sounds like hoofbeats. And you hear what sounds to be like someone on horseback trotting up behind you.
The Mounties found me.
You turn. Have you, Dog, ever seen someone mounted on a cybernetic drone Clydesdale.
You know,
Last Tuesday?
there was that one time that no, he's not ever seen anything like that.
Okay.
But
This is a sight to behold. This, you clearly recognize a chromed out, cybernetic, massive horse. It is one of the cleanest, smoothest, most realistic types of drones you've ever seen. You're pretty sure like individual strands of fiber optic are making up the hair of its mane and tails. Like, this thing is a work of fucking art. It is glorious. You see the rider. This figure, it seems to be wrapped in like heavy leathers, kind of like deep desert gear. But also there are these touches of beauty, like silken scarves wrapped around her neck and wrists. And the figure reaches up and pulls off a helmet and goggles. You see long dark hair shake out of the helmet that it was caught under. Deep tanned skin, dark brown eyes, just a very handsome, beautiful woman. And she looks down at you. Are you the ones we were sent to help?
Well, hi. Dog takes just a second to answer because he feels like he's been transferred into the film The Page Master with everything that has happened in the last 20 seconds. He's gonna straighten up for a second and be like, "That, are you helping robots or people?"
She chuckles.
You're right.
The people. A friend of ours, Mr. Mercury, called in a marker.
Oh. Well, yeah, that'd be us then. Yep.
Are you Mr. Galen?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Just hold on just a second. He's gonna Galen, do you copy?
It's so hard to hear. It is so hard to hear over the noise in the cave.
Yeah, I got you. I see what Galen, do you copy?
Yes!
There's a lady on a robot horse out here for you saying Freddy sent her. Do I have permission to speak for you?
Oh my god. Yes!
Copy that, thank you. And then Dog's gonna turn around and look at her and be like, "Yes, I am Galen. As a matter of fact, there's robots in them there caves that I need you to go take care of."
All right, I can send in my troops. Do you have entrance points for us?
Well, you see there's a big old tunnel down that way. Now, I'll let you know I done rigged it with explosives. I ain't gonna set them off, but I'm just letting you know. That's the way in or out. And right now, I'm going through and blocking off all these other entryways. And I'm gonna blow them up.
Do you have a map I can use, maybe?
As a matter of fact, and he's gonna try to get a fancy with it. Robot! No! Can you please come over here?
Umbra again delivers the preteen sassy side eye
I'll buy you an ice cream later.
and pops up the map. The woman looks at it, pulls a glow out of like her inner jacket pocket, scans the map, hits a couple buttons, and does something. You're not sure what. Back inside the caves, Galen, you just got this real weird phone call while you and B are kind of simultaneously dragging each other up this ridge. The cult members are like, you could reach out and touch them. They are moving so fast right now.
I think the time we are running at this point, and as we are running, we are going to shoot behind us.
Okay.
And just try to slow them down.
May I take this second to please emulate Drall and be like, grenade?
Grenade is a good idea, yes.
Is that becoming a fucking catchphrase or something?
Grenade!
Not near me!
No, we're shooting
right.
the opposite direction.
I can't see, I'm a little buried.
All right. So you and B can both be firing and throwing grenades into the crowd. All of the damage that you are doing while you are seeing it impact this group and you are seeing cult members fall backwards, there is no impact to the mass of bodies swarming towards you. This is, beyond the shadow of a doubt, an overwhelming force that you are unable to affect positively in your favor. And being skilled combatants and survivors, you very quickly realize that the time you are spending even firing over your shoulder or chucking a grenade, that is just energy you could better spend running.
That is the point. We are getting the hell out of here.
So you can all continue to run and move. Mox, you are unfortunately surrounded by these drones, these cult members. I don't know if you are able to really like get a better understanding of what is happening outside of the massive violence right now. So what would you like to do?
Question. Visually, how mechanical are these individuals?
Think like RoboCop. Only everything is like piecemeal, chunk on chunk on chunk, like weird puzzle pieces that don't fit together.
EMP grenade. Fuck it. Poof.
All right, damage. You can't miss.
What is the... I need to pull it up. What's the fucking damage on the EMP grenade?
Wasn't it... Whoops, sorry. We've been doing it so often. Wasn't it 3...
It's 3d10.
There you go, 3d10.
3d10 EMP grenade, or EMP damage.
Uh, 18.
Okay.
I also assume, and if not, thematically I would love it, if through Mox's eyes we see as one of them winks out, the Watcher, his left leg, which is predominantly mechanical, just gives out underneath him at that moment.
Yeah, so you've got 18 damage on a radius around you, also impacting you. So if that would shut down any of your own cyber equipment, yep, just like it did with Galen when that arrow went off accidentally out of nowhere. So yeah. In this case, you feel that like system shock of your cyber tech going down. your skin ripples with goose flesh and static shock as the electricity goes all over you. The drones around you all react and fall back. Not enough to fall down, but they do give you a split-second opening to try to get away.
Which is exactly what he's going to try to do in that moment.
And while that is happening, you also continue to hear that feedback of Argos working with the gun placements. None of them are firing at you, but he has not been able to control any of them.
Argos, if you leave, will they stay disabled, do you think?
Probably. I can still keep talking to him while I run.
Get cam mode. Get the fuck out of there, boy.
You sure?
I don't want you fucking dying here.
Oh. Okay.
Don't make it like that. Get the fuck out.
And we're going to shift out of strict turn order here, just to narratively embrace this chaos. Drall, you are seeing all of this happen split second. It's almost snapshots of the activity and the chaos that your brain is processing. You see Galen and B running as fast as they can towards you, but they are both moving in halting steps. You see the surge of the cyber cult drones from below and on the ridge around Mox. You saw some sort of explosion over where Mox was. You're not sure what it was, and you are you were near enough to Mox to kind of feel it, but you're just not processing all of the details. And you just have this sense of that pounding in your chest, that adrenaline, that heartbeat. This is the worst situation you have ever been in. And what do you do?
I think she's immediately going to drop to the ground in a crouching position, take out her glow, and use the pockets and strings on her hoodie to strap to her chest. Nobody's gonna fucking believe this. And then she's gonna record, grab 2 grenades, and run as fast as she can towards where Mox is going.
Okay.
And if anyone grabs her, she's going to lob a grenade their direction.
So no one is grabbing you.
Good. That would have been bad.
It would have been. The drones that are surrounding Mox are all, they're not striking at him immediately. They're kind of stumbling a little bit. Are you just trying to get over to him to help him? Are you trying to get them away from Mox?
Yeah, so her goal is to draw enough attention to herself to draw their attention away from him.
Gotcha.
She wants to go out the way he's going, but she is drawing attention to herself, making her... I mean, it's like in Halo, the suicide runs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. You sprint towards them.
Oh, no.
I think you don't even realize how loud you are yelling with all the chaos going on. You get closer to them, and suddenly you see a blackness. And it's moving. You think it's a shadow. You think you see a sudden shadow. You didn't see a flash of light. It's out of nowhere. suddenly shadows are looming, swarming, coming from somewhere. And you see that the cyber cult drones around Mox are almost succumbing, almost being washed or pulled under this flow of dark shadow. Mox, you see this as well. You blasted this EMP centered on yourself. You're still sparking a little bit from the system shock, and you think like, oh my god, the rest of my human body is just not working, and my eyes are not working because there is darkness everywhere. But then the darkness is like moving like a living thing around you, and these 5 drones that just beat your ass are suddenly taken down and are being dismantled
by the darkness.
Yeah. I want you to make me an engineering check, because you're very good at this, and even with the damage to your cybernetics, your eyes and skills are sharp.
Engineering or electronics? Just making sure.
Engineering.
Okay, in that case, it is a 23. Electronics would have been a 32.
Yeah, but this is like about hardware.
I know.
It is almost impossible for you to process this, but you are seeing drones. You catch a flash in the darkness. You catch a little bit of movement here and there. It's nigh impossible to get a full grasp of the images you are seeing. It's like when you see a bunch of shit happen real quick and then like your brain is trying to catch up with the visual memory. You are almost certain, unbelievably so, but you really feel like you are seeing big hulking versions of Argos take these cyber drones down. As you are trying to process that, Drall, you are not even sure of what you are seeing. B and Galen, you are at the top of the ridge near the cave entrance, which was partially collapsed but is still open. The throng of cyber drones are behind you. What do you do?
Well, I guess resolve to lead them out so that Mox and Drall can try and get out some other way. Like, I don't think that B sees or knows where they are other than trying to draw everything out and away from them.
So are you still going towards the tunnel to get out, and you're just trying to like cause some distractions along the way?
Galen, step in here if you have a problem with this.
No, I think the biggest thing we're trying to do is we need them to be able to get out as well.
Yeah, and we can't extract them the way that we are right now. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. So you are moving towards the tunnel?
Yeah. Still throwing nanothermite grenades down.
Okay.
Trying to provoke them.
See, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, can we make like a line that they have to cross through somehow?
Yeah.
As best we can, right? Like, that's I think our best bet at the moment, B.
Can we see where the dynamite that Dog planted is?
It was way further down the tunnel.
Oh, okay. So it's like farther away from us.
Yeah, it was kind of twisty-turny.
Okay, that's fine.
There is not a stick of dynamite sticking out of the wall right by the entrance that you can see in the heat of the panic moment you are in right now.
You know, B thought Dog was smarter than that, but B also was kind of hoping that Dog wasn't smarter than that for a split second. Okay, yeah. Let's draw them all towards what we can do is chuck some shit at them, but also we could set up a line of like destruction with the now thermite timers.
Yeah. You are trying to do that as quickly as you can. Like, you know functionally how to do that, but in the heat and the panic and the chaos, you know, you're doing your very best. While you are doing that, let's bounce back out of the caves again to Dog. So, this figure on this massive horse drone is just kind of sitting there watching. And she's looking down at the fight that is ongoing below you with these glam rock motorcycle punks. As that is happening, you also see, you hear at first a couple more vehicles coming around. Again, damn this situation, but they look like pirate ships. They really, really look like pirate ships. And one of them is like kicking up a bunch of dust around it as it's moving in, and like there's people hanging off like ropes on the side of it, swinging weapons of some sort. Another larger one, like not a box truck, but like a big vehicle that's again kind of dolled up like a ship. It almost seems like there's a cloud of fog or smoke around its wheels, so you can't really see the wheels. So it kind of looks like it's really a boat on this cloud of smoke, and it's like roaring down. And then this group is joining the other group fighting those drones that popped out of the sand. And the figure next to you kind of shakes her head. Theatrics, she says, chuckling to herself.
Yeah, he's badass though.
She nods. She nods.
Are those yours?
No, those are just acquaintances, barely co-workers.
But did Freddie? I'm sorry. Did Freddie send them to?
I have the feeling he called in several markers.
Oh, fantastic! Do you know anybody else who's coming?
I did not get an itinerary.
All right then.
I'm sure you know his. I'm sure you know his man Rail.
Your glow is still on. You're using your sexy voice.
One minute. That's right, baby. How you doing in there?
Oh, just fucking Danny. No problem. Well, your sexy voice is helping.
Oh, man. Okay, is that you or Argos?
What? Now is not the time.
Cut now. Okay. I mean, all right then. Pardon me.
Are you communicating with your team in there?
Yeah.
That based on the information I'm getting from my people, I feel like being inside this cave system is not where they want to be. Do they need an extraction?
Dog at that is gonna just light up and be like, yep, yes, please. How you gonna do that? What's your idea? It hit late on me.
How about I just take care of it? Feel like I might be a little more experienced with this type of thing.
Oh, now wait. We don't have time for a pissing contest right now, but I'm about to blow up these goddamn tunnels. Do you want me to still blow them up or not?
You may add your explosives to what my team is doing.
Okay, as long as I ain't gonna get in your way, you ain't gonna get my way. I just want to make sure. If you can't tell, you kind of you don't. Now's not the time to be casting stones. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I think we can work in concert here.
Sounds good.
And she again does something on her glow, and you hear movement, and you see you have just seen so many unbelievable things today. And here's one more. You see from below where you are standing, you see 4 more riders on very similar drones come out from wherever they were and whatever they were doing, and they ride in different directions out and around out of your line of vision.
What is the 4 horsemen over there? Is that what's going on? You got plague going? You got old shit dick over there going? I don't remember the rest of them.
She laughs again. Well, my Dusk Riders have many names.
Oh, okay.
Let's go back into the cave.
You stay up on your high horse. I'm gonna go blow some shit up. All right.
back in the caves, as all of this chaos is happening, B and Galen are trying to set these timers, get some of these grenades in place. It is incredibly difficult to do all of this. As you are standing there trying, some of these drone cult members are like striding up and taking swipes at you. So you're kind of like actively running back and dodging out of the way and trying to drop these grenades. Drall, you ran over towards Mox. You're trying to like process this wave of darkness, and like you start to feel movement around you, and you see this wave of darkness like spill over the ridge and pour down into the cave itself. Mox, as you are standing there, the bodies of these drones that were just attacking you are now lying ripped to shreds at your feet.
Hi.
Mox and Drall, you also see Galen and B working at a frenzied pace with more drones approaching every second. What is the group doing?
Mox is at this moment, I think, the first thing he's going to try, recognizing that this shadow is or multiple drones that are therefore being controlled by someone, is going to,
If you're on our side,
gesture to where the other drones are starting to surround Galen and B.
could you go do something about those fuckers?
You're not sure if anyone responds to you. Like, no one just moves and does anything based on what you've said, but they're kind of doing their own thing. Like, again, you see them kind of spilling over the side. Like, you see this wave of shadow.
Then I think all Mox is going to do is shoulder the sweeper, pull Casey Jones, his rifle out, and try to take aim at whomever is getting closest to Galen or B.
Okay, so yeah, you can kind of aid the work they are doing by taking some pot shots. But again, you are all seeing this overwhelming swarm pushing up towards you, even as some of these grenades are being placed in kind of a line as they're going off, there are so many drones, it is impossible to stop them.
Well,
Drall would like to run.
Sure. That's a great idea.
In any direction.
Yeah.
Really.
I was waiting to see if Mox was actually taking a shot. That's what.
Oh, go for it.
before we ran.
I mean, I assumed that's purely narrative at this point.
Narratively, he is like taking some pot shots and knocking some of them back.
Okay.
But again, there are so many, it doesn't even matter.
You just see Mox strafing, and it's a bolt action rifle. So you see as he's just looking down the scope while moving towards the exit.
Yeah.
Yeah. B, I think it's time to just ignite and run. Whatever we got set up right there, we just ignite it, we get out.
ignite the night, baby. Let's go. And
All right.
Bee's gonna throw a Ronin knife that she's pressed the button on down at the closest thermite grenade and book it the fuck out.
All right. Drall, you are sprinting towards the tunnel that you used. Again, the entrance is a little bit collapsed, but you're able to get through no problem. It's not hindering your motion, your movement enough. So you are sprinting down there. Mox, you are moving that direction while you are trying to fire as well. Galen, you are a little bit closer to the cave entrance than Bee was as she was setting some of those last grenades. You see her like reach out and throw the Ronin knife. As her hand is extended in that final throw, you see two of these cyber drones grab her arm and bodily lift her into the air.
Ah!
Do I have a reaction?
Absolutely.
Galen's going to pull out the last knife that he's got and just run at them to try to detach them from her.
Okay. Why don't you give me like a strength check, like a grapple check?
Okay, well. $15.
All right. So I kind of see this like you are lunging at one of these two that are like holding her because they're very tall. So like they have her up. She's like dangling by one arm, which is like your poor Bee's poor muscles and joints and just stretching out that shoulder. And you're like Galen, you're like lunging at them to try to like damage one of their arms or break their grip.
Yeah, it's kind of like a flying crossbody, but with a like Michael Myers like knife stab at the same time.
Yeah. You connect, the knife sinks in. You are trying to wrestle back and forth. You feel the raw strength of these things, the unyielding power behind them, especially now that they are moving in unison. You feel a little bit of flex and give, but not much. You're not sure you can break this. When suddenly Argos leaps from wherever he was before, grabs Bee by the belt and yanks in the opposite direction towards the tunnel. And that momentum pulls Bee out of the grip, maybe dislocating her shoulder, maybe not. There's a lot of pain. And Galen, your momentum and pressure away from like towards the drones, now that Bee is suddenly popped away, you actually like tumble into them and push them backwards, and you're kind of almost surrounded in the thickest part of this group that is attacking you.
But I see that Bee gets away.
you see in that moment, you're like your tactical combat sense, like, you know, when like real life slows down and you're seeing those details happen, you see Argos pulling B bodily down the tunnel. You see Drall sprinting ahead, and you see Mox hustling up as fast as he can.
I hit the button on the bottom of the thing to start the timer.
Okay.
I'm assuming I'm out of moves at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got something planned for next turn, though.
How long is the timer on those Ronin knives? I forget.
6 seconds.
All right. B, you are being dragged by Argos.
And I'm trying to smack Argos to make Argos let me go so that I can get back to Galen. And yelling, "No, Argos! Galen's back there! Take me back!"
Argos is not responding. He is continuing to pull you down the tunnel.
As a matter of fact, I think in that moment, because B can see me, I would assume I can either through Argos or simply by proximity hear B, and just really quiet communication to Argos. Don't let it go.
Drall, you are running down. There's a little bit of a curve in the tunnel. You can pause for a quick second and look back. You see Argos is dragging B, and she is fighting against him, but he is easily drone handling her towards you. Behind them, you see Mox limping as fast as he can, but he is within the tunnel at this point.
I'll provide cover fire for their escape. If necessary.
Oh, okay. You stop and turn. You see all of this happening. Galen, in this slow motion moment, you see your crew running down the tunnel, nearing that curve that you know takes them out of immediate line of sight from you and the drones in the cave.
Okay, so they're clear. I'm going to do my damnedest. A one-armed man in a fight. But I'm going to try to rip myself. Like, I've got the knife kind of stuck into one of them. I've hit the ignition switch, so I know roughly how much time I got. So I'm going to try my damnedest to get away and just run as fast as I can. I'm probably going to get hit with a blast wave, but it's going to be a lot less than being standing next to them. So,
give me a check.
Strength, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Fuck. Hey, Rabel.
No, I'm donating my rerolls.
I've already rerolled though.
Well, what was that result there, friend?
A 3.
I have 1,000 rerolls.
You twist away your body, falling into that muscle memory of like close combat knife fighting, and you try to pull a move that you've used countless times in the past to twist away and kind of dodge under a limb that you expect to be there. But that move fails because it needs all of your limbs, and you kind of forgot for a second in the heat of the moment, like you depended on the cyber limb to be there to support you, and your balance is thrown off, and you trip into the drone in front of you instead of ducking under it, and you kind of collide with its body, like that feeling of moving into a glass door you didn't see, and you're stunned for a quick moment. And in that moment of being stunned, the explosion goes off. Drall, B, Mox, you hear an explosion behind you, ripping through the drones. You hear a second series of explosions, the C4 setting off some of the other grenades, and you feel the cave and tunnel shake as the rocks in front of you, as you are looking backwards, start to fall and collapse. And if you do not run, you will be trapped in this cave-in.
Running.
You move towards the tunnel exit. You see the light ahead of you. As you come out of the tunnel, the walls behind you shaking, your eyes are blinded by the brightness of the sun after being in the cave for so long. And as your eyes clear and adjust, you see what seems to be someone astride a horse on top of the cave, on top of the hill you're on, maybe 100 yards away. You see some sort of chaos on the ground below you, where the delivery truck had been earlier. And as you're trying to process this and adjust back to the daylight, you feel the ground quake beneath you with a series of explosions. And the hill you are on shakes. Not bad enough that you fall down it. It's not a rock slide, but it is a strong enough explosion and quake that all of you are knocked off of your feet. A moment later, as the cloud of dust in the air kind of clears a little bit, the figure, again on horseback, as strange as that is, trots down to where you are. And from where they are atop of this, she says, you are the team that was inside?
I think there's a moment, because we're all first recovering from the physical shock of the explosion. And I think there's a moment where the four of us look around at each other and realize that we don't know who speaks for us anymore.
In that moment of silence and thought, Dog, where you were with Umbra, you also felt this shake and this quake, but you saw the person you've been speaking with move off, and you heard her speak, and you trot over that way, and you see Mox and Drall and B and Argos.
Good. Where's Galen coming? See. All the routes are gone. Where's he at? What's going on?
Galen's gone.
You just hear in the background of this whole thing, Mox on the communication. Galen, fucking answer me, Galen.
Static. The figure on horseback looks to Dog with a little bit of a quizzical look based on their earlier conversation, but recognizes the gravity of the moment. Well, such things do happen out here in the wastes. I can tell you, if it is worth anything, that my people sealed all of the entrances that you identified, and I am reasonably certain that none other of whatever those things were escaped. Do you have transportation? Do you have a base to return to?
We have transportation.
But it's not ours.
Is now.
I don't even think we have the keys.
That's not really that big a problem. Sorry, Galen.
Is it even right? Should we go and look for him?
Drall just motions to the piles of rock and smoke and ash.
Galen.
Where?
Galen.
B goes over to the pile of rubble and starts pulling away rocks.
And Drall will go over and at first helps you, but then you go to pick up a rock and she just puts her hand over the top of yours and kind of squeeze your wrists, and you just kind of see that her throat is shaking, her jaw is shaking, and she just breaks down.
So does B.
Time passes, and the intensity of the moment, while it does not lessen, does shift towards practicality. And you are able to return to the Winnebago and make your way back towards Solace. As you drive off, you see various groups riding alongside you for a moment. There are these strange trucks and vehicles that are done up to look like old sailing ships. There is a group that is clad in now very dusty and broken and dirtied chrome and neon. But they're still playing their music loudly and proudly. And after a little bit, they break off and go their separate directions. And in the distance, behind you and to either side of you, you see 4 figures riding horses. Behind 2 on either side of you, behind them, this living, moving shadow swarming. And after some time, they turn away as well, and through your sorrow, it is still interesting to see these drones shift into a higher speed mode with their legs locking up and some sort of rocket thruster taking over as they speed off into the desert. Solace, after a long drive, made even longer by these events and the silence, is a welcome sight, but not as welcome as it used to be. The lights are all on, the power is back on, the brightness is there. You all park the Winnebago in its old spot. Make your way to your various domiciles. Yes, Mox.
I think as Mox had a thing that he did with everyone, knowing how dangerous this world is. Pretty much asking them and giving them his last will and testament. Some of our crew responded with more, some of our crew responded with less. So as we see the Windy Bagel pull into position, the engine turn off, the camera just shifts really quick back to the site of the explosion, where Mox had spray painted near the rubble-filled entrance for Sam and Z, as Galen had requested on his headstone should anything happen to him.
And the camera focuses on that and fades to black. But then fades back in. Some time has passed. Drall, you are in your apartment. It has been a few days. There's a knock on the door. A very insistent but gentle knock.
Drall, she sighs and she screams, "What?" And she chucks the glass of water that she was drinking at the door. "What?" And she goes to open it.
You see a woman standing there on the shorter side, a little over 5 feet, mid-50s, wider hips, broad shoulders. Her face and her body do not show her age, and you see a variety of cybernetic enhancement. You see threads of fiber optic cables along her arms and cheeks. You see the seams of what you think might be some sort of armor under the skin. You see jet black hair tied into a neat ponytail. And there is a fire, a cold fire in her eyes. She turns to you.
Oh, hello. You must be Drall. I'm looking for my husband. Galen? Galen Gray?
And that is where we're going to end season 1. That is our conclusion of season 1 of Neon Trails. Thank you all for being part of this. Thank you for being here in the chat. Thank you for enduring with us through all of our shenanigans on the road to this epic conclusion. I hope all of you are okay. We had a lot of fun doing this. It is time to say goodbye until next time, because the Neon Trails crew will return. Let's say goodbye to our lovely cast and hear who they are and where they will be doing things in the meantime, starting with Mallo.
You can find me everywhere at the Mallo Man. We have a lot of stuff coming up over the summertime, including something that we will be announcing very soon as we get things going. But we do have a summer series that will happen in between seasons 1 and 2, so keep a lookout for that. Follow us at the Mallo Man and at Humanoid Games and at Identico on Twitter for all the details. Trust me, we will let you know when it's coming out, and we're going to have so much fun with that one.
It'll be super important, y'all. Wild.
You will find me over in the corner over there, crying my eyes out as I process this episode. You can also find me at Wildling011, just about anywhere. And You know, I'm always probably going to be down for some Identico channel shenanigans, so we'll see you around. Thank you for coming with us. I need a tissue. Mwah.
Pete?
You know, that was a great episode, wasn't it? We shared some laughs, we cried, it was an adventure, it was everything. Caleb weaved together this crazy One Piece-esque thing at the end, absolutely nuts. But you know, we lost a friend, and I think it's important that this time I remind you that you can follow me everywhere at the Mallo Man and see what I'm up to. It's really good stuff, I promise. You're going to do it. Do it.
Lauren.
That's all I got.
As Galen would have wanted.
Thank you guys for being here. Seriously, I've loved this. I can't get enough of it, and it's really great. And thank you guys for a great season. That's it.
And Ethan.
You can find us online, Thousand Faces Cosplay. You can watch our Twitch goodness at Thousand Faces TTRPG. We have 2 actual plays going simultaneously, one on Saturdays and one on the Tuesdays that this one isn't going. So feel free to check that out, or you can listen on Go Buff Yourself, anywhere you get your podcast. I love stories that go this way. Thank you so much for everyone who helped tell this story.
And I am on your socials at the Caleb G. You can find me right here for Identico, here and there with Farm to Fable, and taking up a lot of space in the archives of the RPG Academy. Speaking of which, please remember to check out the Ennies and vote for our boss, Michael Ross, and his game starting on July 12th. That is it for today. Excellent season. Thank you all for your time and your performances. Thank you all for listening in the audience. We will see you sometime in the cyber future for another cyber game. Good night. We love you. Take care of yourselves. Take your meds, drink your water, eat some food, be nice to yourself. You deserve it. You are a wonderful person, whoever you are listening to this. We love you, and we'll see you next time.
Mwah.
Neon Trails is Ethan as Mox, Lauren as Drall, Pete as Dog, Wild as Bee, me, Mallo, as Galen, and the Caleb G is our game runner. You can learn more about the game we play on this podcast by going to www.playidentico.com. You can join us live for these sessions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific over on twitch.tv/Identico. And you can watch along with past episodes and see additional content like how to play videos over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Identico. Finally, you can follow along with us on the socials at Identico on Twitter and at Humanoid Games on Threads and Instagram. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next week.